Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing good. Can't even say everybody. Hope everyone is doing great this morning. Excuse me. I am doing wonderful. Told y'all it was going to be a good week. It hasn't been bad so far, has it? Well, all right then. It's going to be a great week. So, in my front pocket, by the way, good morning, Mr. Pete and Mr. B. Shady. Hope you gentlemen are doing well. And yes, B. Shady, you definitely can help with the names. There are 5 Wednesdays left after today. And the 1-year anniversary falls on a Saturday. So the giveaway will be on a Saturday. Told y'all it's the best day of the week. So, last night, in my front pocket, I needed my Asgard with Schmoog on it. I needed my Asgard in my pocket. And since I just got this one, I needed my Zorn in my pocket. And then in my back left pocket, I had my Vespa. I've come to the realization that if someone ever catches me slipping and I kind of grab for my front right pocket and they see that knife, and then I kind of reach for my back left pocket and they see that knife and they take it from me, they take them both from me, they can't possibly believe that I would have another one in my back left pocket. So I might just catch them slipping with the Vespa. That's how I paint the scenario when I'm walking around at night. Good morning, Mr. Ed. Good morning, Mr. So, I don't believe anybody would actually believe that I had 3 knives on me at all times. So I might get caught slipping for the first 2, but that third one's going to be sneaky. So I had a question. Another reason I took this is because somebody asked me, I can't remember who it was, Tommy. Tommy asked me what size skiffs would fit in this. So I took my calipers with me to work and I took it apart and I found the correct size skiffs for it. And that made me want to come home and check the size of a set of skiffs that I already have to see if it would possibly fit. And that is a big no on this one. I don't think that's the only set of skiffs I have, but boy, those are some big ones. Don't know what those are for. I could have sworn I had a little set. Give me just a second. I did run across some cool stuff last night when I was browsing. I think I might have possibly found a manufacturer for a bunch of knife parts for companies over in China, because they sell all kinds and sizes of here we go. What are these? All right, they sell all kinds of sizes of pivot barrels with all kinds of decorative finishes in just about every size and length you could think of in both 5 and 6 millimeter pivot size. My phone is going off. Don't know what that is. Oh, it was Tommy saying thank you for the skiff size. All right, so anyway, I ran across one of these shops. I don't know why I kept these out. And it's one of the ones on AliExpress that I never believe is an actual shop, like a legitimate shop. And then I thought about the fact that I've seen some of these little ads running across some Chinese websites of where they'll be at the whatever knife fair in China, and the name of their shop will just be shop number. And I guess since they're a manufacturer for Chinese companies to buy straight from them, they could care less about their web presence, because they're a real company selling parts to these manufacturers who make knives, who need to buy 1,000 pivots. And they're pretty cool that they had every size possible. All right, now why do I have an off number of bearings in here? Where is the other bearing that goes with that one? That is very strange. Is that it? No, that's not it. So I've got a set of tiny ones in there, but that is weird. Oh, it's right there. My God. All right, I'm okay now. So these are skiffs and might be the ones I need. How many balls do these have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. These are the wrong size, I think. Dang it. So they need to be the 12 ball, 5 millimeter, 1/16. That is the correct skiff size for, and I know in millimeters what it is also. So let me check these. They need to be 9.7 approximately. And these are 10.7. See, I knew that was the problem. All right. And then these are too thin. I believe these are 1.2 instead of 1.588. These are too big too, though. They're 10.6. And then these are tiny. I do have skiffs in a knife this size, which is wild. Little 4 millimeter pivot. All right, well, I don't have skiffs or those other caged bearings to fit the Zorn. Oh well. I don't know how I missed that other bearing earlier. I was counting 5 instead of 4. Wow. All right, enough of me rambling about bearings and such. I did claim the bearing bounty on the Zorn. But we'll see how that works out. I've got a set I can put in there if I take them out of another knife. But anyway, the shop I ran across was pretty cool. They have a bunch of parts. It makes me want to attempt to make a folding knife pretty soon here. Let's see. I had a few links, including that shop. What led me to that shop was I found some of the correct size caged ceramic bearings that will fit in the Zorn. And I found them for $5.89. And then when you try to add them to cart, they don't say sold out. They say buy now and add to cart. and neither one of them works. But those are the right size. I also ran across something super cool that I wanted to share with y'all that has to do with bearings. And that is another guy, Kubey Knives. So Kubey Knives makes some custom parts for custom knives, including these salt and pepper premium cage ceramic bearings. These are the size that will actually fit in the Zorn as well. They have 10 little balls, and 5 of them are silicone nitride black, grade 5, and 5 are zirconia ceramic balls, white, grade 5. So they have some silicone nitride and some ceramic, 5 of each. They've been hand lapped and hand assembled. They're solid phosphor bronze. They're all the balls are hardened, and they look like some super cool custom bearings that I wasn't aware of. I'm sure a lot of you were. But he makes all kinds of custom bearings and has a lot of the salt and pepper ones. And they range in some crazy prices to decent prices according to what you need. He seems to make a bunch that are 2 millimeters thick, which is thicker than most. Most are 1.588 at the max. But he has a lot that have 2 millimeter balls like these. He offers them in, they're very comparable in price to skiffs. And I thought it was kind of cool to run across these because I've not seen them. Oh yeah, I need to ask about pockets. Thank you for sharing your pockets, B Shady. Evo Stout Proto V2. JWK Lil Bro. Vanguard Mary Fixie. You have an Excalibur? Dang, you got heavy pockets today, Mr. B Shady. Yeah, I want to try some of these out, Ed. So I almost placed an order. Because his shipping wasn't bad either. I need to go on and order a few sets. So I need to check a few more knives. These are, I guess the Balisong community might use his bearings. They look pretty cool though. Alright, so this link right here to this shop. So this is the shop that I was talking about. And this shop has all kinds of 1911 and knife parts and supplies. And like I said, it looks like this company might sell to other knife companies. And as we get down through here, I'll show you why I kind of think that. They have the mosaics and all that stuff. They have all the materials. They have a lot of backspacers, custom backspacers, and a lot of custom pivots. So the custom pivots was the happiest thing that I was glad about finding, because you can pretty much get any size pivot you need to replace with a decorative one. They also have custom 1911 grip screws. They have some pretty wild stuff. They don't have the bearings that I want. they do have another size, but I was going to message them and see if they could come across some of those again, the same size that we need for the. See if I could buy 100 of them and get them at a good cost, because it's a very common size. That size I was showing you for the Zorn. These right here, the 12 ball, 5mm 1/16. They fit in a ton of knives. So if I could run across a bundle set of the ones from China, I would say run them. But they have these pivots, and so you can buy and choose whether you need it 5mm pivot or 6mm. And they have these super cool drill bits, which I had not seen before. And I thought I'd seen a lot of tools. Yeah, I thought I'd seen most every kind of drill bit, and I might have seen these drill bits, but I might not have paid attention for what they are. But they sell these drill bits that are made to make a clean hole through metal, and they have a name for them. One of these other ads for the pivots actually shows that part I was talking about. I mean, that drill bit I was talking about. Let me see if I can find the other pivots. So there's a ton of them down here. They have a bunch of handles too. And they say they have some custom ones that'll fit like real knives. So kind of curious about those as well. All right, here we're getting into the pivots. See if I see that one that has the drill bit. Let me click on one of these and see if it has it. No, it's one of the ones that has multiple pictures in the ad. Thought I should be able to hover over it if it has multiple pictures. Maybe not. But they're these drill bits that have like a solid section that go halfway down the drill bit of the correct size you're trying to bore. And then the pointed end of the drill bit still has the drill bit, but the other half of the drill bit has a solid sleeve that is the same size as the precision hole that you're trying to drill, because you don't want any kind of slop. And regular drill bits will give you slop, unless you're super careful and use a drill press, which you would be using a drill press anyway. But let me open a few of these links and see if I can find it, because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't show it to you. They have a ton of these, and the way you figure out the size is, oh, here it is. They're called, they're these right here. Anybody used these before? So evidently they're made to. No, that's not the size of the hole. That's something else. That must be to like. Anybody know what that's for? To only go a certain depth. Oh, it's just an AliExpress page. Good morning, TC, Michael. Bullet Junkie, it's just an AliExpress page. But you have to look at the chart here to figure out the sizes. So they got pretty much everything, and they show you the breakdown of the size of the pivots. So you can get any size you want pretty much. I mean, they got a bunch of sizes. 10 sizes for each, for 5mm, and 10 sizes for 6. And they have some super decorative pivots that look super cool. And they make me want to buy one just to build a knife around it. but it makes me want to take out some pivots and get exact measurements. And they're all T8. But the name of the store is this right here, Bullet, whatever you are, Bullet Time, Bullet Junkie, Bullet Junkie. Here you go. There's the store. But they had a bunch of cool parts. They even had some PM2 frag. These right here. $25 for some aluminum PM2 frag handles. Frag scales. Sorry. And I didn't think that was a bad price. $5 shipping. Oh, I got you, Ed. So they cut the pivot size at I got you. They cut the pivot hole and the little countersink for the pivot. That's pretty cool. I need to buy some of those bits then. And I'm sure they send you the correct one that matches your pivot so that the outside diameter sits flush. So it's basically like a countersink thing. And I know what you're talking about having to try to drill one hole and then drill a countersink around it. You always end up rounding out the initial hole. You drill a little bit at the top, putting an edge on it. So I see what you're talking about. So that one part just spins on the metal. I mean, that you're drilling and cuts it out with that other part. That's pretty cool. What else did they have on this page? They had something else knife related that was pretty cool. Those crossfade acrylic scales for bug outs are pretty cool. And what's funny is that they're building these for the originals, not for the clones. Which is kind of weird. But they've also got pommels and guards, like some super cool pommels and knife guards to go around knives as you're making them. They also have screw sets for the Ultratech, which is pretty awesome too. They have all kinds of handle material. But these pivots is what drove me nuts, like seeing how many they had in different cool styles. And you know, last week I measured that pivot for that guy, and he could buy one right from this place and make a perfect fit for his areas. Here's some more pommels and a guard, like some animal pommels. Pretty cool. Here's a whole set of guards. What else did they have? Yeah, crazy stuff. You know, they know what to make parts for, like Benchmade and Spyderco. Because they know those people that spend that much money on a Benchmade don't mind spending a little more to customize it. These 1911 grips are, some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are pretty ugly as well. And there's some of the epoxy and wood combo stuff they're doing. It looked pretty cool on a, that's for a chef's knife, but it looked pretty cool regardless. No problem, TC. Do your thing. I bet you're working on a knife or something. So you're here in spirit. But this is what started all that rabbit hole, was these $6 caged bearings that would fit the Zorn. But yeah, man, the Asgard was such a pleasure last night. Such a nice knife. Perfect hydraulic action. Oh yeah, I bought a knife last night. I took Nick's advice. And you know how Nick said he thought I was trying to collect all the Brian Brown knives? And I think at some point I might have said that I was trying to get all the Brian Brown knives, but what I meant was all the Brian Brown production ones straight from him, not ones that he's collabed on. So like the Corvus, I've got the Raptor, the Corvus, and the Jaeger. And the other one that was around when I got those that I needed was the Finch. So I happened to run across a Finch last night in plain tie, and I went ahead and grabbed it to go with my other three. And I knew that if I waited long enough, I would run across the version that I wanted. I had run across a couple of other Finches before, and they were a little more expensive. And I just held out, and I'm glad I did, because I got this one right here. He had a Corvus for sale too, which sold for $280. Sever's been wanting to get another one of those. It's the blue. It was the blue carbon fiber one. But the one I bought was this one. Got a plain tie Finch. And he's the original owner, has never carried or cut anything with it. It looks like it's in perfect shape. I mean, absolutely perfect. And he had it. Man, that blade is so pretty. Nice picture, by the way, dude. He was asking 170, which I'm sure it was well worth that. I offered 140, and we settled at 150. So I think getting another Brian Brown knife to add to my collection in the version that I wanted, in that great a condition with that beautiful of a blade, is worth $150. So now I got to go do some research and figure out which other ones I need from Brian Brown. Michael? Yeah, I've got a I've got a 2M, I don't know, whatever. I've got something. So, what production ones do I need now? Because I've got a Raptor, I've got a Trogon, but I don't necessarily want all his ones he's designed for other makers. I want the ones he sold himself. The Corvus, the Jaeger, the Raptor, and the Finch are the only ones I know of. Maybe mine is an MV3. Mine's got the yeah, that's what mine is, an MV3. And I love how you can buy the flipper and the non-flipper. So I found a flipper and made it a non-flipper. I looked at the pictures of the actual non-flipper version and tried to get it close to that. And I did a good job on it. Wasn't much difference. I've actually got all my knife cases on a shelf in the garage over here that I can't really get to unless I move my car. And I guess the Finch was one of the ones he quit making. But getting it for about half price was always nice. See how much it was. They got the price. Yeah, half price for that same version. Got some stats on it here. 6-inch, 2.75-inch blade. It's not bad. I thought it was even shorter than that. Oh yeah, there's another he did. There is a butcher or something. There's one called, oh man. You just brought up some memories, Nick, about something that I researched. Does he have, whoops. Does he have a knife called the, somebody had a knife that I was looking for at some point that had butcher in the word of it, you know, in the title of it. Like something butcher. Dang it. Maybe it wasn't him. But here's a good section to go see all his knives. What else we got here? I need to go back and get like a version 1 of the Raptor. And maybe like one of these patterns of the V2 and the V1. That would be a super cool collection. And it looked like, oh wait, on this page right here, these don't even have, these are just, they don't have the M, they don't have the V1. So I wonder if that's even a different model. Yeah, there's another one. Without the M or the V. Yeah. Huh. Came out swinging with some knives. That's crazy that you don't see any of the Finches, though. I'm glad I ran across that plain Jane Finch. Aha, the Taka. What do we got here? Taka prototype. Taka number 1. So it's one he didn't go with, huh? So the Taka. All right, Brian Brown. I was trying to catch up with chat. Taka knife. The Warthog. All right, I read something. Where's the cash version? Dang, they don't have the. But the Warthog Falk. Check out this line right here. We need to do some research on these. This is an old version of his website. I wonder if the Wayback Machine would have it. Morning, Waylon. So, let's go to try to Warthog. Micro Warthog number 10. Yeah, that's his customs. But that's a super cool looking knife. My goodness. I don't even mind the holes in it. Because it lines up with the pivot hole. That's pretty neat. I like how those holes line up. And they're staggered in size. Man, what a pretty knife. Wow. Super cool. Morning, Nick. Morning, Waylon. Morning, Christopher. Y'all are doing well. Yeah, I would agree, Michael. That's why I got the other ones first. But I did get the version I wanted at least. Yeah, I got the other ones long ago. I just happened to run across this one for half price, so I still want to find this Taka. Aha. Micarta and Westinghouse? What? Well, that's pretty ugly looking. Oh, he's not even got the lock in it yet. So he really was just experimenting. Oh, here's the Taka number 35. I guess these are his customs he does. He decided not to run a production version. That's cool though. I need to get this model right here over to the Chinaman. No, I'm just joking. Be careful saying that. Somebody will swear I did it. But man, that would be a good version to replicate. Getting snowed in. That's no good. But man, that's a pretty nice looking knife. In fact, that knife's nice enough. I'm going to save a link to that. I even like the Spidey hole. Blade magazine. Well, there's a full dress model. That's pretty wild. Yeah, be shady. I know the Westinghouse is old, it's throwback, but it's still ugly. uh, yeah, this was for this is for that show. Full lineup for Kentucky this weekend. That's pretty cool. Seeing one of his old lineups for his customs he made. I like seeing flashbacks of like what people were making when they first started out. and doing what he wanted to do. You know, testing some combinations. I like the combinations on that wood one. I can't lie, like that is pretty clean with all those different patterns. Uh yeah, that's one of the cleanest looking half wooden handled knives I've seen. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna save that image just because. Uh, when was this? Let's see. This was just 5 days ago. So this has nothing to do with what I said about when they first started. This is current. This is brand new. But it doesn't change the fact I still love seeing pictures of when they first started. But yes, I'm ignorant. Do not read things I should before speaking. uh yeah, those are pretty sweet knives. So what blade show is this Kentucky this weekend? And why did I not know about it? And did that already happen last weekend? Yep, it happened last weekend. Maybe. Why don't I know about knife shows in Kentucky? Alright, now I'm upset. What is this? Gun show. Oh, that's just a gun show. Well, we got plenty of those. I don't need all that. I need big knife show list. PVK seems to have a list. And I need to pay more attention because August, September. Well, they did have a list. Annual knife shows and events around the country. Anybody know a good list? Oh, that's the one to the. Thanks for that. Anybody? All right. New York Custom, California Shot Show, Art Knife Festival. Talk what to expect. I don't. That's not really a calendar. Knife show schedule. Maybe some of the people that go around to all of them. That's what you want to find is the small vendors that go to all of them. Pigeon Forge. Already long over. It is the end of the year. We got to look at January 2026. Let's see where they're coming up. June. Okay, Cobb County. That's Blade Show. June 5th through 7th this year. Next year, I mean. Big River Forge. Got some February. All right. Oklahoma Knife Show 2026. February. Blade Show Texas, March. June 5th, Atlanta. Cowtown Custom Knife Show. Another one in Texas. St. Louis Cutlery Fair. Huh. I bet that's a lot of chef's knives. Alright, so here's the one last weekend. I thought thought this was that other one that was a while ago. Oh, that was Blades and Bourbon or something. Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, I need to know about ones in Kentucky because I can get to Kentucky pretty quickly. Did I follow him? Am I following him? No. That is silly. Yeah, I want to see some of his other customs come to production. Like that Taka. He does his thing. Oh, that's... Look at that. Wow. I want one. Yeah, I know, Michael. It was the last weekend. Five days ago, he said he was on his way, so I figured that was right before last weekend. I probably should get a mini Trogon because I've got the full-size Trogon. Should find when it's right and I run across the right version, I'll grab one. Alright, so yesterday, in the mailbox, I had, one of these. I like their color combos on their bags. I think it's the blue one I got yesterday. And that is the pincher. And I can tell you that out of all my Monterey Bay knives, this one has the most stupid guillotine action of any of them. I've tightened the pivot, and it's one of those pivots, which this knife is what made me go start looking at pivots. Because whatever size they've got this pivot at and threaded, the screws bottom out and it pulls itself perfectly tight to where it has zero blade play but guillotine action, and you can't tighten it anymore to get it to stop dropping like that. And the second thing about this knife is they advertise it wrong. It is not a 4-inch blade. It is a ZDP 189 sandwiched blade between 440, and you can see the line on it, pretty awesome. And it gave me a newfound respect for these layered sandwiched blades. So this is HRC of 66 to 67. And they still managed to make the hand satin lines on it look great, even across that 440 or whatever the other steel is. But the size of this knife is listed incorrectly on the website. And man, does it have guillotine action. This is barely it's 3.4 all the way to the front of the scales. It's not even 3.5 to the front of the scales. And they call it a 4. So let me just show you here. I mean, it is right at 3.5 right there. It's exactly 3.5 to the front of the scales. So the blade is actually 3.3. The cutting edge. A lot of them measure from the tip to the middle to the closest point of the scales. I've noticed after trying to match up manufacturers, but it's nowhere close to 4. But super cool looking knife. In comparison to the size of the Rosalinda, it is smaller than the Rosalinda, but yet was claimed to be a 4-inch blade. I kind of wish I could get to my slayback, not swayback, slayback, because it's one of their long versions too. And don't I have an XL version of something? I do. That's an integral, right? I have an integral Monterey Bay that I totally forget about. Wait a minute. Yeah. What is... I totally forget about this knife. I thought it was almost as big. Yeah. And I got a heck of a deal on that one. I think I got that one for like $120 or something. Like, they're great value knives for what you get. Well, now I want to go and try to grab my slayback. But that's all right. Got a few laying there. But yeah, I like the pincher. The blade's a little canted. Same with the Rosalinda. I guess that's kind of his style. Seems to be canted down just a little. I almost wish it was a little straighter. Same with this one. It kind of cants down. This one is definitely straight. If you don't have any Monterey Bay knives, I suggest you try them out. If you got something against Chinese OEM knives, then grab a Monterey Bay knife and get over it. But as you can see on the pincher, it shows a 4-inch blade length. And it says 8 1/8 inch overall. Now, I didn't check that. Let me see what the actual overall length is. I just don't necessarily like when specs are that far off. But let's see. Overall length of this thing is about exactly 8 inches. So it was only off by an 1/8. But man, talk about guillotine. You get it past that, you don't even have to get it past. It's one of the smoothest knives I've got. And I like how I rate those as stuff on there. The R Laconico. I don't know, that's a cool little touch. He doesn't do it on all of them, but he tries to. And I don't blame him. All three of these do. All right. What are we looking at now, fellas? I had one more, something else. I can't remember. Oh, here's some pictures on the Discord. Micarta Finch. That's the one I kept running across. There's Mr. Ed posting a Micarta Finch. And it's just a clean looking, simple knife. That I'm going to call a reverse Tonto. In a non-flipper version of the V2. There's the Asgard and the pincher. I can't believe the Bergam is already wearing off, and I haven't carried this knife but like twice. I haven't used it for anything. But I'd say that lasering needs to be done a little deeper, or the hand satin needs to be done a little lighter so that they don't do that. Because I haven't used this knife at all to cut anything of any kind of substance. But you can see here that there's something going on with the Bergam. But yeah, seeing that layered blade is super cool. And 66 to 67 ought to be plenty hard for edge retention. Oh yeah, I forgot about my saber tooth. What else did I buy? Didn't I get something else before the saber tooth? Oh yeah, I bought the old guard not long ago. Forgot about that one. An Ex Machina doesn't really appeal to me. It's too skinny. It's more of a sever knife. But it's right here. And it's on sale right now for 145 bucks with the same ZDP layering. Actually, no, it's not layered. It's an entire ZDP blade. So that might be a good one to... No wonder the blade's so skinny. Yeah, probably should get that for the collection, but I did get an old guard not long ago. Still got to get a Sea Otter. I would like this Futura. Do we know if that knife ever came to fruition? Or if it's going to come to fruition? Is it brand new? I think it might be. We saw it not long ago. Somewhere. I've got more Monterey Bays than I realize, I guess. Y'all got anything y'all want to check out today? A river otter and a sea otter are the two I got to get. Definitely a sea otter. The river otter is a little bit, blade shape on it is a little different than what I normally like. um, so yeah, I like how he's got leather slips. I wish they had clips on them. I've been wanting to find another good leather slip with a clip besides the one I got. What's the name of that guy that makes that puts his name on those slips? I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. I've got it over here somewhere, I swear. Don't see it though. Could have sworn it was on the table over here somewhere. Pete knows the name I'm talking about. Cavill. Now I just remembered it. Cavill slips. Alright. Y'all aren't giving me much to talk about today. I'm going to hop over to Reddit real quick. 29 minutes ago, the FSD and mini FSDs are back in stock. Shapton Stones, talked about those. An AD 20.5 for $45. That's a heck of a deal. On Demco Knife. Free pouch when you purchase. Daily deals. Here's the daily deal. Gray Grivery. It's only the shark's foot, not the clip point. A heck of a deal. Especially when the clip point blue one was in Magna Cut was 400. All right, what else is going on today? And I'm getting worn out on my phone today. What is going on? It is just vibrating left and right. Out for delivery. I've got something out for delivery today. That's always encouraging. Wish I knew what it was. Yeah, that's no good. All right, what else? Hogue Deca or Benchmade. I go with the Hogue. It's a crazy looking knife. Seppuku, what's it called? What in the world? Knife Swamp is pretty funny. Best video time stamp I've ever gotten. What the knife? A pretty knife. It's standing at attention, huh? That's pretty funny. What is that? A Best Techman? No. That's a pretty wild looking knife. 55 right now on sale from 125. We've looked at it before. I think Pete it must have sold out. It's the Cyber Dashi or something. Yeah, I think they either sold out or they probably did sell out for half price. Yep, they did. Yeah, that would have been a good knife for $55 if it was normally $125. There's a click. $5 could have got you a nice click. That's another knife I wouldn't mind picking up eventually. Y'all are super quiet today. In fact, today might be the shortest stream ever. Five Wednesdays left until a year after today. Is a 180-400 enough to fix this much damage? Yes. A 180 will fix that. For sure. The Viper. Love my Viper. Cold Steel Mini Trapper. Not a bad looking little knife. I mean, I know it's probably cheap. But that's one I don't think I've really seen. Not that model at least. Rough Rider. $40. Bone Blue. Frost Cutlery. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, I'm not. It's not that I'm bored, Ed. Just no crowd participation. Y'all need to throw up something for me to look at. Something interesting. I'll get you to hop back on though again sometime soon. But it's not that I'm like bored. I just don't like talking to myself. I mean, I can keep looking at whatever. Doesn't matter. I would be looking at knife stuff regardless. And this is probably what I would be doing. I would be going out through here to see if I see anything I like. Ever feel like we might have more knife designers than we need? Yeah. The Dundee from Oh Stop Hell must look. Oh, yeah. There it is. I mean, dang. Pretty close. except for the rounded, I mean the oval, the shape of the handle. Christopher, stiffy polishing stuff, TC. We did a little of that yesterday. But yeah, okay. We'll go to that in just a second. Yeah, it's based after the Gringo, right? I haven't looked at it. Um, there it is. 179 seems like a good price. 11.41 inches. What kind of blade steel? ASAB 88, HRC 62 to 64. What is ASAB 88? It's got to be something proprietary from them. Versatile cold work tool steel. Over 60 after heat treat. And it's compatible with surface treatments like nitriding or PVD. Blanking, coining, cold forging and extrusion, thread rolling, general purpose cold work tooling. ASAB 88. Oh, it's a Sleipner. So I wonder if it's that Sleipner steel, which is the same as that one company uses that we looked at. Man, was it a... It wasn't Austrian. Which website was that had a bunch of those? Every time we'd look at the new arrivals, might have been Knife Center. But they had that brand. Can't remember the name of the brand. But we looked. They used that Sleipner steel and it wasn't Austria. Maybe it was Austria. Can't think of the name of that company though, but one of these knife places was pushing them pretty heavy. I don't think it was Blade HQ. Trying to scroll back a few here. See if I just happen to run across it. Man, I wish I could remember the name of that brand because it was a... They had one... Oh yeah, it had that weird clip that stuck out too far. We've looked at it a couple of times. And every model had that weird clip or something. I don't remember where it was. Must have been Knife Center or something. But they had... What made me think of it was the Sleipner steel. Oh, I'm almost remembering the name. Man. Almost popped in my head a second ago. Mini Old Guard. There's an Old Guard. That Rhino looks a lot like the Persian. Beautiful knife, though. Yeah, I don't remember what the name of that company was. Oh well. We'll run across it again. From some newer company. One of these places was pushing pretty heavy. All right. Yeah, it's a cold tool still. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what we were reading. In fact, it's kind of funny that all the purposes, they didn't say knives up here at all in the little breakdown. It's more of a tool still. And it said can reach a 60, but yet Kunwu says they got it to 62 or 64, which is pretty remarkable if they do, because they make it sound like if you get it to 60, you're going to be great. Yeah, being able to be coated with surface treatments was one of the main things. What's that? AVW. That wasn't the name of that. Does that say AVW? Good polishing lineup. Knife polishing supplies. Jant's Supply, grinding, polishing, and sharpening. Polishing and cutting compounds. Here's all the compounds. White diamond. Buffing wheels, abrasives. Wood finish. Perma-blue, flits. Wax. Wicked wax. This site seems to have the supplies. Hey, there's one of those nice buffers too. Jant's knife making. Man, what was the name of that knife company? Huh. Wonder. I still got to get one of these. Why don't. Sold out. Polishing stuff. I mean, I don't know what you really need, DC. Placement wheels, compound, and grit for sharpening wheel set. That's a sharpening wheel you can throw on. And a honing wheel. Replacement rake only. I got the wheels. I don't know, TC. What do we got here? Folding knife kits. Well, that's pretty neat. I didn't know they had these cheap kits. Black Mamba. Caballero. What the heck? What are some of these? That's a whole little, let's build a knife kit. Huh. Pretty good to buy a class of kids and get them to do. Oh yeah? Jed has some of these from Jantz. Honey Badger. Wait a minute. I've got a Honey Badger. That's pretty cool. You can build a Honey Badger? Oh, that's a different Honey Badger for sure. That's just the name of that one. Alright. That's pretty cool. For kids, yeah, a class of kids, that'd be cool. But what do they got here? What is a Ulu blade? Ah. Leather cutting blade. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's a Tennessee Bowie. What kind of blade steel? 440C. The Boker Advent Calendar? Huh. What is that? Oh, this one. Wow. That's a nice knife. It's a bolster. It's got the bolsters too. Wow. Kind of pricey. Considering that other one was with the bolster down here was 40 bucks or something. 30 bucks. I mean, you get what you pay for, so. And that was on Boker's website. I'm quite sure you could find it for cheaper than that. Tactical blades. What do we got here? Field blade. What do we got going on with this thing? Why in the world are there so many notches? No, I get it. That's for the guard. That's a finger choil, and that's a sharpening choil. But and that pin is for the guard. That locks in right there. Huh. CPM 3V for 90 bucks. It might be a fun project. Yeah, I used to love my little advent calendar. When I was a kid, we had one of these ones, and I don't know where it came from, but it was the coolest thing ever. It was like this folding stand-up thing that had these doors on it. And each door had a different prize under it, and you would like open the doors. It was like a barn or something. It was like one of those pop-up books. But it was an advent calendar thing. And so each day, you know, counting down starting in December, I guess, December 1st, you would tear these little things off the doors of this calendar barn looking thing or something. I can't remember exactly, but I was super young when I had that thing. And I can't remember what the prizes were or how I got the prizes. Like maybe it was something my mom, like, I'm not sure what it was exactly. I can't remember. Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to try to grab my other Monterey Bay knives. Ow. All right, I got my case. I was able to reach it actually. But I forgot about a couple of Monterey Bay knives I have. Evidently. Yeah, I can't remember what that little thing was, but it was super cool. Whatever it was. All right, I reorganized my nice knife box. So they should be all together, which they are. So I guess that is my my Monterey Bay Knives collection. Minus one. I've got one more. And that is this one that I had out yesterday. And in actuality, I need to go in a different order. Man, those are really close. I don't know which one's bigger. Those are all three pretty close. That's bigger. That's pretty close. Actually, that's bigger. And then that. Nope. Did not realize Sabertooth was going to be the biggest one. All right. I've got a lot of other Ray knives, but those are my actual only Monterey Bay knives. Only problem is I've only got 3 slots left in my case. Hey, wait, that's perfect. All right, that worked out great. If I put up all these Monterey Bay knives in my nice knife case, it will be full. I don't like having it completely full because then I have to figure out what I want to take out whenever I want to put one new one in there. And I don't have 6 slots in a row. So I need to fix that. So what do I have here? Arc form. Yeah, my 2 arc form knives. There we go. Now I got 6 spots in a row. I will put them up in the order that they go, except that I'm going to do a video for the pincher. Oh, and this one goes in the integral case. So I only need 5. So that's all right too. That means I still got 1 empty spot. Yeah, this for $120 when I got it Can't beat that. Yeah, Mitchell. It's like a 3.3 inch cutting edge and 3.5 all the way to the middle of the scales here. False advertising. But it does have a cool line with that ZDP 189 on it. I still like it. It's got guillotine action. You cannot tighten it any tighter. They got the tolerances perfect for this thing. Yeah. I'm going to do an unboxing vid for you. Not for you, but for somebody today. So that's why I still got this one out. I'm going to wipe it off and unbox it, which basically means unbag it. Oh, it did come with a full set. So I just got the other one, but it did come with a full set of hardware, which is cool. Oh, is it? TC, I've got a super power UV light right here. I've got a very high power one. It's actually kind of expensive too, but I bought it for circuit boards. So let's check it out and see if it is. Yeah, maybe. Let me turn off all the lights here and see if that helps any. Not really. Not any more so than anything else. Not like bright, not like lighting up. I wish I had something glow in the dark that I could show you. Even the button on this thing is glowing. I don't know if you can see that, but that button is lighting up. That green button on that more so than that. I don't have anything. Wow. This little piece of paper. Super bright. That piece of paper was glowing. This thing is super strong though. You don't want to see what this does in hotel rooms. That's kind of why I bought it. But you go walk around a hotel room with this thing and it is disturbing. You can see all the lint really good on stuff too. In person. But they're not really glowing. I was pointing this down in my knife case. Nothing really sticks out. The golden, oh, that looks cool. The Golden Design Works Standard looks really wild under, like it was sticking out of the case. It was kind of like, it's got a weird color to it. I don't know if y'all can see that. But it's really blue, but when I shine that on there, it makes it change like a color, like super weird. It's like a purplish looking dark color, and then when I hold it up here in the light, it gets light again. It's pretty wild. I haven't used this light much around knives. Wow, you can see down inside there all the specs on there. What is going on that blade? I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's, you see the end of that knife? Weird. It's just like dirt. I mean, it's like dust or dirt or something, but It's really glowing. All right. Anyway, enough playing with the high power black UV light. Oh yeah, I will remember that. I forgot last year. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to soak it all up. It was kind of a little bit of sensory overload. Yeah, it probably is lint and oil, but it just looked wild. This thing makes a heck of a noise. Like both opening and closing. Wow. Super loud clack. I love knife acoustics. And integrals, like it's like echoing out of here, like pretty wild. All right, guys, I'm gonna start winding this one down. Appreciate y'all being here today. 5 more Wednesdays left after today until the year special. I've been making piles. So far, the 2 giveaway winners, the regular winner and the members winner, have got 3 knives apiece in their stacks, and it will grow between now and then. So I looking forward to that a lot. I got to find where I put my Brian Brown knives in the new case. I got to make my little printout because, you know, we got the case now pretty dialed in. But I'll have to make a spot for my Brian Brown coming in. I think I might carry the chevron again today. Just something special about this knife. I can see why, who was it? Nick T? Nick T carries this knife quite a bit. And I think I might carry it today. Got to put up my Asgard with the integrals. So those 2 got to go back in the integral. I'll put that in my pocket. I might as well put the Zorn back in my pocket. I think I'll have those 3 on me today. Anyway, guys, hope all of y'all are staying healthy and not getting sick in this crazy weather. We had some wild, crazy wind last night. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Tornadic, in fact. There's no leaves left on the trees, but yet some of them were still shaking. It was blowing so bad. I hope y'all have a great hump day or a great pivot day, as B. Shady said. It's the pivot of the week. So I hope y'all pivot nicely on to the end of the week. And the knife closes shut. The week closes shut like a guillotine. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Just talking. I appreciate y'all though and love y'all. And really do hope you have a great Wednesday. And we will do it again tomorrow. See y'all later.